Hey everyone, this is Rachel Daigle, and this is the Soil Spinach Homesteading Show. Today we're going to talk kimchi. There's been some preparation already made into this. A few days ago, 2 days ago, I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I didn't find the time. I didn't make time for it. 2 days ago, I heavily salted it, and I put it in the fridge overnight. The next morning, I poured off the liquid, and I added some more salt, and then last night, I poured off the liquid again and I let it sit in a heavy brine. I didn't use any proportions. I just added salt until I tasted the water and the water was salty enough for me. So kimchi, some recipes that I've seen use a lot of Napa cabbage and daikon radish. I have none of that. But kimchi is something that's very personal to every family. It's unique to whatever the family has around. So in this one, I don't know, I have some cabbage, some celery, some carrots, some mushrooms, cucumber. That's all I can see. And then what makes it the kimchi part is actually the green onions or scallions, the ginger, and the hot pepper. But I have jalapeno peppers, and to make it red, I'll use some chipotle chili pepper powder and some smoked paprika powder. The smoked paprika is just because I like the smoky flavor and I want to see what it tastes like once it's done. So yeah, I'm going to make the paste using the manual chopper like I usually do. Probably putting too much in there. We'll see. I just call it a paste, but it can just be finely chopped. It doesn't have to be a smooth paste or anything. So how much am I using? I'm going to fill up quite a few jars, so I'm using more than I would use with one jar. That's how specific I get. Just ginger. If you really like ginger, add some more ginger. If you really like green onions, add some more green onions. If you want it really spicy, add 10 hot peppers. I was planning to use more ginger, but I used some for other ferments, so I have less. The end. You can come in the kitchen, it's fine. I usually do this when Peter's not home. Now he's home and he's sneaking around trying to get into the kitchen. That's alright. And hot peppers, if you want it less hot, you can use either the hot pepper that's not as hot, or you make sure to take out all the seeds of the hot pepper that you want. We like it hot in this household, so I'm just putting the whole pepper in. Everything's been washed and all that's been already prepared. So I'm just putting the 3 whole peppers. But there's going to be around six or 7 jars, but we'll see. So half a hot pepper per jar is not too much. Every time I do that, Lillian like crouches on my back. Okay, at this point, I'm dealing with hot pepper. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your eyes. It's nasty. Just don't do it. If you have to rub your face, don't. use meditation techniques to not do it. It's not worth it, people. Just don't. It hurts. Okay, chipotle chili pepper. Just gonna add some. How much? I have no idea. Don't breathe it in. Is this enough? Probably not. Let's see. I'll add some more. Take off the top. So in a traditional kimchi recipe, they would use Korean red pepper powder. I don't have that. I don't know where to get that. So I use a red spice. And smoked paprika, I'm not going to add too much because it's really smoky. It has really nice flavor. So I'm just adding some to see what it does with the kimchi. It's going to be interesting. And I've read some recipes that said that they added some sugar, so I'm just going to add a little bit of, I don't have white sugar, so I'm going to add like, I don't know, a handful of brown sugar. Why not? Don't overcomplicate it, just do it, just do it. Okay, so it kind of looks like this. It's not really red, but it hasn't been hydrated yet, so it might be more red once there's water in the jars. And now, this is my Sunday wine. Priests can drink wine on Sundays, and I can too. So, I'm just going to try and mix these two together, but I have two small bowls, so just roughly mix it, I guess. Peter, would you be able to take Lillian? She's starting to squirm on me. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to mix this well. And this time, even though it's a ferment, I'm not going to add any more salt because it's been really heavily salted over the past few days. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to need any more salt. Because I taste when it's still really crunchy, which is the part that comes from adding a lot of salt. And it's really salty too. So the salt's in the vegetable already. I don't know what you call it, molecular, cellular something. You don't have to know it to make it. Alright, that's good enough. So, I'm going to start packing these in a jar. Jars up. And then I've read recipes that have fish sauce in it. I thought I had fish sauce, but I can't find it, so I don't have fish sauce. So I'm not going to use fish sauce, but you can use that. If you're vegan or if you just don't want to buy it, you don't have to put it in. There's some recipes even that have shrimp in it. I'm a little, not worried, but I'm unfamiliar with fermenting with animal products, so I haven't done that. It's not yet something I'm comfortable doing. So if you want to try it out, go ahead. There's specific things you should do though, so read up a bit about fermenting animal products if that's something that you want to do. I don't mean fermenting with fish sauce, because fish sauce is already a fermented product. It comes from fermenting like the rest of fish bodies that people don't eat, and it's basically left in salt to rot for, well, not rot, ferment for weeks, and then the liquid that comes out of it is fish sauce. Tidbit for you that didn't know. If you did, kudos to you. So I try to pack it more compact. I'm not very particular about it. You can make it really pretty if you want, I guess. I don't care. It's going to end up all mixed up in my stomach anyways. But I've never fermented with mushrooms. This is going to be interesting. And you want to leave space. I stop filling it at the lip here so that I can add some water and then my olive oil seal. I don't know if I'm going to quite get 6. That's alright. I know it's going to be delicious, so look at it. Oh. So I'm getting 5. It's a pretty good guesstimation I did there. Well, went off. Pretty much 5 full jars. I'm impressed with myself. There. Wow. It's like 5.5. And then I didn't bring the water out. So I'm just going to rinse my hand and get water. These jugs of water, we're really close to the Cape Breton Highlands National Park, and there's a spring there that you go on the side of the road and you just literally fill up your bottle. So that's what this is. If you don't have spring water, it doesn't matter. But if you have chlorine in your water, just make sure to let it sit either overnight or at least a few hours, or if you don't have a few hours, to let it boil. Do a rolling boil and then let it sit until it cools. And then the chlorine in the water will be out. Because chlorine and microbes just don't mix. Which is also a reason that I don't drink chlorinated water, because it kills the microflora in your gut. And your gut flora is basically what keeps you alive and healthy. So, no thanks, chlorine. Oh, this is going to be so good. And okay, so when is this done? I don't know. It's done when you like it. The traditional kimchi taste is for it to have a fizz or a little bit of a carbonation to it. Sometimes you can't get that if you haven't sealed it tight at the perfect time. I'm not very good at getting a real fizz into my ferments, so I'll just have to taste it after a few days. If you're in a warm environment, it's going to take less time. If you're in a cold environment, obviously it's going to take more time. If you just leave it in the fridge It might take weeks. If you do, like I do this in mason jars, some people do it in big crocks, fermentation crocks, and it can take a month, but you have to taste it. That's how you know if it's ready. Once you've seen the bubbles in it, you know it's active, and at that point you can start seeing when you like it. And it changes a lot every day, so taste it a day and then taste it the next day. Don't wait a week after that. Because I'm like, at that point, it might become soft and something you don't like if you wait too long. Okay, and I'm just going to do the one, show you how I do the seal on the one, and then I'm going to end it there because that's it. That's it. It's as easy as that. Don't complicate it. Ferments are fine. Give microbes what they want, which is food, which is an environment to grow in, and the rest takes care of itself. This one I might have put a bit too much olive oil actually, but it's just going to be more oily when I eat it. Who cares? I don't. So that's it. Ferment, my friends, ferment. And I will see you next time. I have some kombucha to do, so I think that's going to be my next video. Check it out. Thanks for being